Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of my wonderful and beautiful little subscribers out there. And how I love you all so. And I hope that you're all super duper well, super duper wonderful, and super duper delicious. And that life is treating you most deliciously wherever you are in the world, right then. So, what do we do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9. My juice little lads. Thank you, little lads. You're delicious and bright. Yes, they are, aren't they, my delicious little babies? Now then, so it's nearly 3 p.m. in our old England today, my delicious little babies, okay? And it is a little bit warmer today, okay? We've got another blue sky. But we had a bit of a swiddle, like a swiddle. I call it a swiddle. Okay, but some would call it a swizzle, like a swiddle. Okay, my delicious little babies, okay, going up in the sky, just like that. Okay, my delicious little babies. There's also been as well a lot of helicopters around my delicious little babies, and also a lot of what I call the old bill. Some will call police, I'll call them old bill, my delicious little babies. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, we've had quite a lot of presents, yeah, for some reason. I don't know what they're doing. Okay, my delicious little babies anyway. And oh yeah, when I took a tiny, shorty video of that Westminster drain, my delicious little babies, okay, that I uploaded onto a good old YouTube. Well, I spotted another one of these drain metal lids, my delicious little babies. But guess what? That was down by the shops. But that doesn't have any Westminster at all. It doesn't have anything. Nothing at all, my delicious little babies. It's just plain. It's the same one, like the same, all the detail is the same, but it doesn't say Westminster on it. Earlier at the bottom of my road, my delicious little babies. Do you see what I'm saying? Yes? So why is that then? So why is it Westminster on one and not further down on the other? My delicious little babies, do you see what I'm saying? I'm just wondering. It's just a question. That's all. Now, we couldn't even say that over the decades, over the years, that cars or vans or whatever just keep riding on it. No, running over it. No, because it would still show, because of the way that they were made, okay, and the way that the lettering was done, that no, they wouldn't have been able to get rid of it like that. My delicious little babies, okay. Anyway, my delicious little babies, so I've got a couple of bits of information for you today, my delicious little babies. Oh, there's another thing. There is a song, actually. For most of you, you'll remember this song, my delicious little babies. Do you remember it's called Inner Circle? You can actually find it on old YouTube, my delicious little babies. You only have to type in Inner Space Circle. You know that song, a la 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 long. You know what I mean? Girl, I want to make you sweat, okay? There's a video that I'm wanting you to find on there. Do you know what I mean, okay? I'm pretty sure that, when they were doing the song, okay, making the song, and you know what I mean, and doing the video and that it was, I would have said totally, I would have said innocent, yeah, okay, my delicious little babies. It's very interesting when you go back and you look at different videos, my delicious little babies, you know what I mean? There we are, it's there in everybody's birth, there we are, in everybody's birth race. Now, how many now have heard of, most of the old groups, old bands, old solo artists. It's like it's a bit like what I'd say New Street Station. You know what I mean? It's like they come for a time and then they're gone. Do you know what I mean? There we are, my delicious little babies. Do you see what I mean? The ones who seem to stand the test of time. What's his name? Paul McCartney. If he was a real Paul McCartney, that is, my delicious little babies, guy. Especially when they have, their, what do we call it, innings, with the fake royal family and all that, then, my delicious little babies. Do you know what I mean, okay? Wink, wink. Do you know what I mean? Mardelicious babies. They seem to stick around. There we are. They seem to stick around, don't they, Mardelicious babies? You know what I mean? And they pull them out, there we are, from behind the curtain. There we are, when they need them. Mardelicious babies, do you see what I'm saying? Yes. So the only ones who seem to stick around are the ones who appear to be useful. There we are, in some way, Mardelicious babies, do you see what I'm saying? Anyway, just thought I'd mention it, Mardelicious babies. Now then, so these two videos, Mardelicious babies, okay? Just going over the E. But we mustn't forget the film V. You know, that they turned it into a film, but it's a series. I remember it from when I was little. I've been done saying this for how many months, Mardelicious babies, okay? So, yeah. Now then, so the first one, Mardelicious babies, this one is nearly 30 minutes long, Mardelicious babies, okay? Now then, search engine of your choice, Mardelicious babies. Capital S. No, sorry, I was just about to tell you the video and not the uploader. Mardelicious babies. Capital T, sorry. Tron, okay? So it's TRON. 4646, so it's Tron, and then the numbers 46, no spaces, all together now, in no man's land, together, okay? And then space bar, bitch it. Then you should have reached your destination. Tron 46, space bar, bitch it. Now up to 13 subscribers, Mardelicious babies, okay? I got them to number 10 because I actually subscribe to them, Mardelicious babies, okay? So, you know, I try to help out. If uploaders, sorry, excuse me, if uploaders, you know, they bang out good videos, and with anybody not in that way, if they bang out really good videos, Mardelicious babies, okay, and I can see that, you know, that they just need just that little bit of help, you know what I mean, then yes, I will subscribe to them, but I do my best to stay limited to who I'm subscribed to. Sorry, excuse me, Mardelicious babies. I just need got a little bit of a frog in my throat. Mind you, I had a baguette earlier. I haven't had one of those for years, Mardelicious babies. Just going to have a sip of my vitamin C orange juice, Mardelicious babies, please, and thank you. I think I'll have another. There we go, Mardelicious babies, yeah? So just get, you know, back to the matter in hand. So this is nearly 30 minutes long, Mardelicious babies, and they've got 13 subscribers, bless, okay? So may they prosper, okay? And the video should read, okay, because it's a couple of days ago now, Mardelicious babies, because I never did a video yesterday. All I did was a tiny shorty video. My beautiful little Maisie Moo, she'd eaten some of her, you know, her little pussycat food, and she formed... There was two things. Well, actually, there's a few things just on that shorty video, Mardelicious babies. So basically what I was asking is, what can you see? Because I know what I can see, okay? But if I tell you, then it's like, how can I put it? Because what I'm trying to do as well, it's like, there we are, training in a way, Mardelicious, there we are. That's the best word I can use. Training, okay? You know, for others to be able to see, you know, beyond that, you know, my beautiful little Maisie Moo, you know, because my beautiful little Ruby Tuesday, you know, she's having a snooze at the moment, bless, okay? But getting back to my beautiful little Maisie Moo now, that, you know, she'd formed something, okay, Mardelicious babies, okay? So it's like a picture. So I called it, you know, like a little cat painting. Okay, Mardelicious babies, okay? Very interesting. So all I'm trying to do is train, there we are, for anybody who is interested, okay? This is what I do every so often. Do you see what I mean, okay? To train ones to see what they can see. You see, most can walk past rocks or walk past a brick wall, or even if they looked up at the sky, they wouldn't be able to see something. But I can see there we are many things. Do you see what I'm saying? Okay, it's a case of your eyes focusing and really sort of only focusing on one thing now. Do you know what I mean? So in this case, you'd just be focusing just on the plate and what's on that plate. Do you know what I mean? But there are a few. There we are. There are a few things there now. Then, do you see what I mean? So clear, it's unreal. Really clear. There we are. Really clear. Okay, my delicious babies. I thought I must take a tiny bit of a shorty video of that to show you my delicious babies. Okay. Now then, so yeah. So this getting back to this now then, this video, my delicious babies, okay? It should read, Scandemic Exposed Part 23. Okay, my delicious little babies, okay? I'd really strongly suggest, there we are, just ones to please and thank you. Please take a little bit of time out of your day or night. That's all I ask my delicious little babies, okay? Because it's very true. And there's a woman on there, she talks, at the start, bless her. Oh, yeah. Okay. And there we are. And she's talking common sense, my delicious babies. Bless her. And like I said, not in that way with anybody. But she's talking damn well common sense. There we are. She's telling it for what it is. Okay. And then your dear man there then. Okay. Which I know because I remember seeing him at the start, there we are, of all of this, my delicious babies, okay? And let me tell you, his words, there we are, they come true, isn't it? There we are. Do you see what I mean, my delicious little babies, okay? So it's well worth a little watch of this video, my delicious little babies on BitChute. Now, finally, okay, we've got here, this is the upload, a search engine of your choice again, my delicious little babies, okay? Capital M, this is two words together. Capital M, once again, muck. As if, you're mucking out the stables. Okay, my delicious babies, muck. Or, wiping muck off your shoe. Okay, my delicious babies, boots. Muck, then capital B, boots. So capital M, capital B, muck boots. Then space bar, BitChute. And then you should have reached your destination, okay? This uploader happens to now have 761 subscribers, my delicious little babies. I think I may have mentioned them once before, maybe. I'm not sure, okay? Anyway, the video should read, it has begun. They don't want this seen. Okay, my delicious little babies, so I'm just going to repeat that again for you, shall I? It has begun. They don't want this seen. No, my delicious babies, they do not. Now then, this video here is just over 10.5 minutes long, my delicious babies. Okay, so now I'm going to close my book. We must remember now to go back to the parts. I keep saying to go back to the parts, there we are, where we need to go back to. Okay, so now we're going to close my book. Okay, my delicious little babies, okay? Now then, this one here, now I actually seen this little interview with our lovely, not in that way, our lovely Redacted on YouTube, my delicious little babies, okay? And he was talking to, oh gosh, I've advertised her a few times. Anyway, you'll know who she is, okay, my delicious little babies. Anyway, I watched that because I watched the whole interview on Redacted between two of them, Clayton and your woman there now then, okay? And then what happens is then it goes to a different clip. Okay, my delicious little babies, okay, yeah, slightly stumbled there. And what's very interesting to see, my delicious little babies, on this just over 10.5 minutes video, my delicious little babies, okay, what's super duper interesting is that, they keep that, oh, look at this, oh, shook up. you know, like when they keep, oh, well, we're going to be doing this, we're going to be doing that, and, and everything like that now then, yeah? But you see me, I smell, there we are, I smell fear. There we are, my delicious little babies, I smell fear. There we are. Do you see what I mean, okay? So maybe things now are not really quite going the way that there we are. Maybe one's pushing it out. There we are, to be my delicious little babies. Do you see what I'm saying to you? Yes. Even was it Klaus Schwab had to take his Mr. Magoo spectacles off, my delicious little babies, okay? And that's nothing against anybody who wears glasses, by the way, because, I have to wear glasses if something's super duper 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 small, okay, my delicious little babies, for me to see, okay? But yes. So the fact of the matter is, my delicious little babies, okay? I'd really strongly, there we are, suggest that ones, there we are, take a listen to that as well. My delicious little babies, do you see what I'm saying? Okay? It's just very good, the way it's been put together, in just over 10.5 minutes, my delicious little babies, do you see what I'm saying? Okay? So the way that I see it is like this. They're trying to sell everybody something, and of course, they stand on their little stage, and usually talk a crock of effing shit, that really, apart from the ones who are in the room now, then, because they're just as flipping much Egypts as the ones on a little stage, okay? Apart from them who show any form of an interest, anybody else would be flipping yawning, my delicious little babies. Do you see what I'm saying, okay? Because that's how interesting they are. 0, 0, 0, 0 interest, my delicious little babies. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, let me tell you this. So I was listening to our lovely, iconic, and like I say, with anybody not in that way, our lovely David Icke's dear little son, Gareth, and his dear little friend Richard, because, I think dear little Jamie, dear little Gareth will be on Iconic again tomorrow. They're on our lovely davidicke.com and our lovely BitChute. Okay, my delicious little babies anyway. And, well, yeah, and I happen to be talking about, who was it, that JD Vance. Yeah, I don't trust him either. And he's got sneaky little eyes as well, my delicious little babies, do you know what I mean? It's like, even when, like when somebody's eyes are open, they're open, yes, okay? But his eyes, I suppose even when they're open, they look closed, my delicious little babies, do you see what I'm saying? Yes. But I don't trust him either. Old-fashioned Irish saying, my delicious little babies, when somebody or something, there we are, is too sweet to be wholesome. You know what I mean? That is what I see. My delicious little babies, do you see what I'm saying? Yes. But I'm pretty sure that they'll continue to have things now up their sleeves. My delicious little babies, no doubt, okay? What is important is that we must, out here, my delicious little babies, there we are, be watching like a hawk. Do you see what I mean, my delicious little babies, okay? And saying it, there we are, for what it is, okay? Because anybody who happens to say anything about Trouble Trump or anything like that, in Born in the USA, anybody who says anything, my delicious little babies, they have a hurl of abuse thrown at them, my delicious little babies. What? Because ones are just not wanting to see now? Simple question, isn't it, my delicious little babies? One's just not wanting to see. You see, okay? And of course, like I said, you see, with myself, I watch the flex. There we are. I watch the flex, my delicious little babies. Do you see what I'm saying, okay? Of course, I'm trying my best to keep up with what I can. Yes, I am, okay? And, of course, whoever I'm bumping into now, I like to give them, there we are, information, that they can take away with them. Do you see what I mean, okay? And let's not forget our lovely UK column as well, my delicious little babies. And like I said, with anybody, not in that way. But they're really lovely too, my delicious little babies, okay? You see, this is what the crack is. Anybody, and I'm going to repeat this again, anybody who follows what they call the correct narrative, like, follow the leaders, like, does his hair damn well told, gets the ka-ching, 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 like a good little boy or a good little girl, okay? There's plenty of them scattered all over YouTube, my delicious little babies, okay? And scattered all over BitChute, my delicious little babies. Something's going on with BitChute, isn't it? Forgot what flipping video I looked at now. Something's going on, my delicious little babies, okay? And this is what I'm saying, you see. There we are. I'm noticing different things now then. And something else I want to say. So there was this, was it a doctor, cancer doctor? I'm going to mention this. I'm not sure if I have. I could have already mentioned or I may not have done, okay? But I'm going to mention it again anyway, right? So this doctor now, this cancer doctor, who happens to be a billionaire, by the way, this was days ago now, my delicious babies. I never watched it all. I've only just seen like little clips, okay? That was enough for myself. I do not wish to sit through a whole one of those effing videos. No, I do not, okay? And he was explaining, that, what has happened is really awful. Do you see what I mean, my delicious little babies? Well, really, that's an understatement, isn't it, my delicious little babies? Actually, okay? But ones have to question as well, my delicious little babies. So why would he become a billionaire? Just wondering, my delicious little babies. If you've done everything above board, is he Japanese, is he? If he's done everything above board, because I'm not feeling so, my delicious little babies, you wouldn't get to be a billionaire unless you've, there we are, maybe done a few, there we are, underhand things now then, do you know what I mean? Not quite played the book the correct way, my delicious little babies, okay? And then, of course, it's the same old drill, you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Oh, no, sorry, what was that? Is that shotguns? Is that, you're in the army now? One of those, my delicious little babies. So if you do things now, maybe turn a blind eye, maybe do other things now, you become a million, there we are, and a billionaire. That's how it seems to work, my delicious little babies. Do you follow what I'm saying now, my delicious little babies? Yes. And of course, this is proven. So I'm not just saying it, my delicious little babies, okay? Others can clearly see as well, my delicious little babies. Do you see what I'm saying, okay? So, and it's amazing when you look at somebody and, they've really, it seems to myself, had no, what I feel, stress at all. My delicious little babies. I mean, they probably may have done at the start of it all. Oh, I don't want to do this, I want to help the world. I want to help anybody in the world, you know what I mean? But then, of course, it's, what's the colour of money? Ka-ching. And all that changes. Do you see what I mean, my delicious little babies? Change the subject now, okay? So anyway, as far as I'm concerned, there we are. They can carry on chatting. Let's talk about before the old pandemic, shall we? Let's talk about all of those times then, do you know what I mean, where nobody wanted to come out the woodwork. Do you see what I'm saying to you, my delicious little babies? Now they're all getting interviewed by the larger. Do you see what I mean? There we are, my delicious little babies. Do you see what I'm saying? Can you see what club I'm talking about now? The club that nobody else is in. I personally wouldn't want to be in that club. I certainly wouldn't want to go to my job as a doctor or a nurse and go and kill mankind, okay, there we are, on a daily basis, or be a vet, and, especially in the old pandemic, my delicious little babies, do you know what I mean? And get up and just, whether you're mankind, bless, or whether you're our little beautiful little babies who we call our sons and daughters, you know what I mean? And, just follow orders. Do you see what I'm saying to you, my delicious little babies? Yes. That's what I said. I mean, and if we just take a look, sorry, so I'm stumbling again on this, I'm not changing my video. If we take a look from back in 2020, my delicious little babies, look how many. You only have to look, my delicious little babies, there we are. How many, there we are, have hopped on the gravy train, my delicious little babies. They've got books out. They've got super duper, ridiculously, makes you want to project in a bucket, egos. that are really not becoming of somebody at all, my delicious little babies. Do you see what I'm saying? Yes, I can. They all seem to mix in certain, there we are, circles, my delicious little babies, okay? So that's what I'm saying to you. Who exactly, if we really ding, ding, dong, dong, start asking questions now with our noddles, who exactly is really, truly, to their heart of hearts, actually wanting to do something, my delicious little babies, okay? Because I'm not seeing many. And that, and I'm going to say now, that does not include our lovely David Icke or his lovely dear little sons, Gareth and Jamie, or their lovely dear little friend Richard now. And it doesn't include, I could mention our lovely UK Colin McKay, they're another one, okay? I could mention a few others. But for the most, no. It seems to myself, as an outsider looking in, I've got eyes to see and ears to hear. That it seems that there we are, they're too busy now wanting to keep the gravy train, there we are, going. Do you see what I mean, my delicious little babies? Yes, okay. So that's why I just watched the Flex, my delicious little babies, okay? But ask me a question, do I get peed off with it? There we are. Yes, I damn well do, my delicious little babies. And I'm still being sparred on, my delicious little babies. Maybe not so much in my birth race, but I'm definitely, there we are, still being sparred on, my delicious little babies. Okay, they can hear everything. They can hear me doing my video now, my delicious little babies. Do you see what I mean? Anyway, I am going to be sorting out something to find out where this bug is, my delicious little babies. Do you know what I mean? Okay. And one more thing, I keep seeing Red Bull. These Red Bulls. These, what do they call them? These energy drink things. The ones that send your flipping heart rate 150 mile an hour, my delicious little babies. Those ones. I keep seeing those flipping everywhere. My delicious little babies. Do you see what I mean? Okay. And I'll tell you what else they were dropping on the ground, or whoever it is, they do little things, you see. Sometimes you get an odd little shoe, like a little shoe like this. You get different things, my delicious little babies, okay? What was it? Kinder Surprise. Maybe we need to look at, because the original advert for Kinder Surprise, I'm trying to remember now what nationality it was foreign, wasn't it, my delicious little babies? Because it was in foreign, Kinder Surprise, my delicious little babies. I have to remember now where Kinder Surprise first. Oh, I'll find out, my delicious little babies, I'll have to let you know tomorrow, unless you, in the meantime, can, do you know what I mean? But there's clearly, there we are, there's a point to what I'm saying. There we are, my delicious little babies. Do you see what I'm saying? Yes, I can. And what is it now? Is it a lot of vodka bottles as well, my delicious little babies? Just seem to be, I don't know, getting smashed in places. Who is it with the vodka? Is it, what did they used to say? Because one used to make a jerk of it. Is it Russia with the vodka? My delicious little baby. Is it Russia? I think it's Russia, isn't it? Okay, my delicious little baby. So I just thought I'd leave that with you, my delicious little babies. But yes, I'm still, there we are, clocking, there we are, as much as what I can, my delicious little babies. Do you see what I mean? Okay? But it's not as much in my birth race, but there we are, they're still there. Okay, my delicious little babies. Okay, so they haven't gone away. They've just maybe, probably because there we are, they know that I get Marty peed off. Do you understand? There we are. Do you see what I mean? Marty, little baby, so they think, oh, okay, let's not pee her off so much. Do you understand what I mean, Marty, little babies? Can? But there's no point to this, absolutely no point at all. And I'll repeat it again. And the reason why there's no point is because all that one would have to do now, ding, ding, dong, dong, is just listen to my videos. That's it. They get the information that they need, there we are, from my videos. Do you know what I mean? Do you see what I'm saying? Yes? So, and I'm not shy with what I've got to say anyway. No, I'm not. Not at all, my delicious little babies, you know what I mean? So when others are all, this, and that, do you know what I mean? No, I'm just done saying it the way it is. And I believe that there are all the countries that we are working together. They're just pretending to play one off against each other. Do you know what I mean? But the fact of the matter is, okay, is that it's at one's expense out here, my delicious little babies, you know what I mean? Because they've got to keep things going now. Do you see what I'm saying? Yes, okay. There we are. And this is how this is rocking and rolling, my delicious little babies. Do you see what I'm saying? Yes. So ones need to be really, really, you know, on the ball here, my delicious little babies. I'll put that as my, you know, my title to my video. Please stay on the ball. Okay, my delicious little babies. So that's the end of my video, okay? Let's not forget the batteries now. My delicious little babies, okay? And just one more thing now, just to let you all know, and I must just say this just before I'm over and out. You know, when there's top makes of things, okay? Whether it be food, whether it be clothing, whether it be footwear, okay? Please, this is just a very, there we are, good piece of advice, okay? It's just came into my noddle, okay? It's just came into my noddle. Please, just be very careful what ones are buying, okay? Because you could have something that is maybe not as expensive, okay? There we are, but is worth its weight in gold. Please remember that, okay? Because, and that's something else. Oh, yeah, that's something else I want to tell you. Some weeks ago, I bumped into a woman in the shop, okay, my delicious little baby's cat, and she happened to say, we're talking about her, because I'm seeing a lot of, you know, those jackets called North Face, my delicious little baby's cat. I'm seeing them everywhere. Anyway, my delicious little babies, and she said, I always save up for the winter, you know, because she was handing over a parcel. Should I always save up for the winter, you know, to get her winter clothes? And she said, and I wanted to wait until the price come down with this North Face jacket, you know, like a bomber, like a bulky jacket, yes, for it to come down in price. Anyway, so how much did she get it for now? Was it 250? Ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. And what was it, the inside pocket or something started to rip. And I said, and you paid how much? I said, well, thank you for telling me that. I said, because nobody will know who you are anyway, my little lovely. I said, but I will mention it on one of my videos. So come on. If something was, retailing at, 400, ka-ching, ka-ching, ching, I think she said something like 4 ton, yes? And then, you know, she then watched the price drop and got it to 250, yes, okay? Well, it shouldn't be having rips in the pocket, should it? And she also said that when she washes it, that it's sort of, you know, like how the foam inside is supposed to stay the way it is, you know, so, you know, you can wear it, wash it and wear it. Well, I think the foam's starting to come apart, my delicious little babies. Do you see what I mean? Okay, so I do believe she will not be purchasing another one of those jackets, my delicious little babies. Maybe she felt that we are very disappointed, you know, her hard-earned ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching never quite got her what she really, really wanted. Do you know what I mean? Okay, which was something which is warm, waterproof, and windproof and secure. Just to find my delicious little babies that she ended up with the foam that's you know, that funny stuff that's coming apart inside of it. And a ripped pocket, my delicious little babies. That's what you get for 200 knicker, my delicious little babies, it seems. Okay, my delicious little babies, okay? And I've seen just the start. In fact, I need to try and find that video about Bangladesh, my delicious little babies, you know, where they got the young little babies now on the machines, sewing machines, for hours upon hours upon hours. And the poor little babies now have got like bags under their eyes and, you know, do you know what I mean? For all those hours work that they're made to do, my delicious little babies. Do you see what I'm saying? Yes. So that's all I have to say for today, my delicious little babies. Okay, so wherever you are in the world, whether it's morning, afternoon, or evening, please have a super duper delicious time. You only get one life, my little beautifuls. Okay, please continue to good vibrations. Okay, and sending peace, love, harmony, and bright blessings to each and every one of you. May your beautiful little selves and your beautiful little families all be fully protected. Okay, I love you all so very, very, very much. Please take care of yourselves and please try to take care of others. Thank you so very much for any views, for any occasional comments, and for any likes. Okay, and you just please and thank you. Please, please have a wonderful, beautiful time wherever you are in the world. Okay, so until my next video, so much love to you all. Thank you once again for listening. Love ya. Goodbye.